y'all hit that like button when you come in and sub to the channel if you're not a member, and hit them notifications so that you're able to get all of my content too. Salute to the Lions Den. Let's get right to it, man. Sebastian Telfair, man. I give props to him for stepping out on faith and stepping out on a limb and letting people know what he's going through. Now, I don't necessarily agree with some of the things that Sebastian Telfair has said nor done. Okay, and I've talked about this before concerning Sebastian Telfair in the DJ You Know Who interview. And there were some things that I thoroughly disagreed about with Sebastian Telfair. But besides that, I want to talk about something a little different now. As you know, Sebastian Telfair has went out on faith and let everybody know his struggles that he's going through right now. Now, some people think it's fake. Some people think it's real. Uh, I tend to, get a person the benefit of the doubt, and I don't think that that's something that Sebastian Telfair is really playing about. And what I'm talking about is Sebastian Telfair. For those of you who don't know, uh, he was in the 2004 draft, I think it was 2004 or 2005 draft. Might have been 2004. I might be off, a year or two off. But um, he was selected. He went 14th, and he was one of New York City's best point guards. And I personally know because I watched the documentary Through the Fire. That's one of my favorite documentary. Man, I still wish I had that documentary too. But I used to have a documentary. I used to watch it quite a bit, and it was definitely a good film. And you could see it on YouTube now. I mean, back then, of course, it was DVDs and stuff like that. But man, I had to get my hands on it. But in the DVD, it talked about him, playing at Lincoln, and he was amongst the best high school players in the nation, McDonald's All-American and everything, man. And, he was talented at coming out of high school and everything. And of course, he got drafted out of high school, which was unreal because of his size. A lot of people were already doubting him because of his size and everything. Uh, but he went on. He played for various teams in the NBA. You know, um, made tens of millions of dollars in the league. But unfortunately, he had he ran into several situations that in his life that led him to where he's at right now. And what I want to say to people, man, is that him hitting rock bottom can happen to any one of us, man. It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire. It doesn't matter if you're just just an average Joe out here working. You know, uh, you know, I get, I see a lot of people that are, criticizing him and, saying, laughing, saying, disrespectful comments and stuff like that, or you living in the projects and stuff like that. Well, listen, and a lot of people were like, yeah, I'll never go back to where I'm from. You never know where your situation is gonna land you at again. You never know where you're gonna come full circle again. You might have to go back to humble beginnings. But the fact of the matter is that he still has a roof over his head. He's still eating something. He's putting something in the system. It may not be, what he was eating before when he was living the lifestyle that he was, and he still got clothes on his back. It may not be the clothes that he want to wear. Just like in the film, he had basically stated that he went from driving Benzes and Maseratis and all these luxury cars, and now he's having to ride a bicycle. And look, it's like that sometimes, man. I give props to him for allowing everybody to see the struggle that he's going through, because not very many people would let people inside of their life like that. And you got to think, man, there's a lot of people that are very prideful individuals because of the selfish ass society that we live in. Anyways, you got people out here on social media that are sitting up there laughing, making fun of him and stuff like that. And I know what people are talking about. They're saying, oh yeah, well it's karma because of the health fraud scheme that landed him and Glenn Big Baby and a couple of other players. In prison, excuse me. But this situation could happen to any one of us. Sebastian Telfair, man, he just made some bad choices. He made some bad decisions. A lot of times we make these bad choices and these bad decisions, not realizing where it's gonna lead you to later on in life. And I look at this situation right here as everybody that is not going through what he's going through to actually, not only learn from this, but also know that it could happen to you. You just don't know what situation might occur. Any situation. And we don't. Of course, I don't want to put that type of energy into the universe for it to happen to anybody, but it does take place. There have been people that have had millions of dollars and they've lost it all, and they've had to go back. It's not just Sebastian Telfair. There's many athletes that have had to go back to humble beginnings. And I look at the situation that's going on with Damon Jones right now. I look at his situation. Look what he's having to do, man. He's having to, give up his mother and his father's house who he bought for collateral just for his bail. Now, true enough, he bought that on his own, but it's the same situation. He put himself in that situation, and now he's gonna have to go, hit rock bottom in order for him to truly understand. But I wanted to talk about this because I feel like, Sebastian Telfair is getting an unfair rap about the situation that he's in. I mean, it could be worse. He could be he could be living, sleeping on a park bench. He could not even have a home. But that's the way I look at it, as is at least he's living somewhere. And like I said, it may not be in a mansion. It may not be, in a 4 or 5 bedroom house. You know, a few cars in the yard or in the driveway or whatever. And he got all these different toys. From a grown-up perspective, inside his house and outside of his house. You know what I'm saying? It could be, like I said, man, it could be much different. And a lot of people got to learn from it. Another thing is, man, not only people that are, playing a professional sport, but even if you're just working a regular job, you still need to know how to budget your money and know what you're doing with your money and make calculated decisions, because if you don't, stuff like this can happen. Stuff like this can take place. Now, I'm glad that he went out on faith and told everybody how he was living, because some people, I guarantee you, a lot of people would not do what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? And you got to think about it. The majority of athletes are prideful. They have an ego that's through the roof. You know what I'm saying? They they don't want nobody to see them this way or this. They want people to remember them a certain way, if that makes any sense. And for Sebastian Telfair, he just happens to be the one. He happens to be the one to let people know, okay, hey, look, we all fall down. Now, believe it or not, this could be motivating a lot of people. A lot of people are probably motivated by this situation, because they'll look at Sebastian Telfair. They know him as Bassy around the hood and stuff, and they'll be like, "Hey, Bassy, man, you used to be this and you used to be that." And guess what? They're probably like, "Man, I still want to be like you," like. And the thing about it is he could tell people that he actually stepped foot on the NBA floor, even though that he might be in the situation that he's in. What's up with it, Alex? I see you in the building, man. Shout out to Detroit too. 9-2 out there. But he could be, listen, guy, man, is in a situation where right now, okay, yeah, he might be in the projects or whatever, but guess what? He can always tell whoever he's around that he made it to the league. He stepped foot on the NBA floor. And a lot of people will be able to say, okay, yeah, you did play in the NBA. You did rub elbows and with lace them up and play on a basketball floor. Now, did you set out to accomplish what you probably wanted to in your mind to accomplish? No, you did not. But the fact that you made it to that, you fulfilled your dream. That's amazing. A lot of people don't even get to make it. A lot of people do not get to make it, man. And see, everybody thinks like it's so easy to just get in the NBA or get in the NFL or play Major League Baseball. It's not. Any professional sport, even when it comes to hockey, even when it comes to, any professional sport, it's not easy, man. And the more famous that you are, the more popular that you are, the harder that it becomes, because for one, there's always somebody trying to take your name. For two, there's always somebody trying to get you in trouble. That's on and off the floor, or on and off the field. Another reason is that you have a lot of people that are jealous of you. They want to, they want to be in a position that you're in. It's all these different factors that are coming from different directions, and some people can handle them, some people can't. It it's a big percentage. The majority of it is mental too, and a lot of people aren't headstrong. They go to the NBA, they go to the NFL. A lot of people aren't headstrong. So, yeah, man, I just wanted to talk about that, concerning Sebastian Telfair, man. I think it's good that he stepped out on faith, and he was able to talk to the people to let them know what he was going through, where he had been, and what he's doing on the daily, since he hit rock bottom. So salute to him, man. But let's make sure y'all hit the like, sub to the channel too, hit them notifications, and share this video. Straight to the point. LDBC, basketball, boxing. I'm out.